Hey y'all, welcome to Sweet Tea Astrology and Tarot. My name is Erica, and this is your May 2019 Astrology and Tarot forecast, where I'm going to talk about the astrology that's at play, some of the major things that will be going on. I'm also going to pull some cards, and we're going to talk about the general themes of the month for my Leo babies. This can be for your sun, moon, or rising sign. So let's get started, Leo. On the 4th of the month, at the very beginning, we have a new moon at 14 degrees of Taurus. And this is going to be in your 10th house. The 10th house is the house that I attribute to the William Shakespeare's quote, "All the world is a stage." This is a stage that you approach the world on. It's how the world knows you through your career, status, and reputation. You're dealing with authority figures, and these are people that you have to answer to in your daily life, your personal life, business life. These are also authority figures like the authorities, the law, or an authority figure in their field of expertise. The 10th house is also seen as the house of destiny. New moon at 14 degrees of Taurus. The Sabian symbol that is attached to that is the pot of gold at the rainbow, or the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And I got this from straightwoo.com. And it indicates that riches come from linking the celestial and earthly natures. So we have that new moon. The new moon is when the sun and the moon are hugging, giving each other a kiss. And it's also under the influence of Uranus, because Uranus has moved into Taurus for its long extended stay. On the 7th of the month, we have Mercury, the planet of thought, movement, and communication, moving into Taurus, that 10th house. Leo, there's a lot of focus on that 10th house for you this month. The career, status, reputation, house of destiny, and authority figures, among other things. So Mercury moving in that 10th house means that there's going to be a lot more movement, a lot more thought, a lot more communication, probably messages moving around in that area of career, status, and reputation. Something big is boiling in that house for you. On the 16th, we have Venus, the planet of love, beauty, harmony, money, and resources, moving into Taurus as well, that 10th house that we've spoken about since the beginning of the month. On the very same day, on the 16th, we have Mars moving into Cancer. You had a Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle card deck jump out of the deck. So there's that. I'm going to cut now. So Mars moving into Cancer. Mars is action, passion, aggression, all on a sliding scale. And Mars doesn't really like being in Cancer. That's like trying to boil water. Trying to work with boiling water. It's difficult. You have to do a few negotiations to be able to navigate doing the work without burning yourself, boiling yourself, or getting a steam burn. 12th house is the house of the dream space, illusion, delusion, institutions. It's the nebulous, hidden, dark things in the world. It's also the house of secrets. It's secrets that you keep from yourself, secrets that are kept from you, secrets in general. Also the house of karma and self-undoing. I think of the 12th house as trying to stand in a boat on the surface of a body of water and trying to see the bottom of the floor of that body of water from the perspective of in a boat on top of the water. It's almost damn near impossible to do that. Could be that your dreams may be very, for some of you, it could be very sexual. For others of you, it could be like just aggressive dreams. On the 18th, we have a full moon at 27 degrees of Scorpio. This is occurring in your 4th house, Leo. This is the house of your home and family, your roots, stability, and foundation. This is at 27 degrees. Like I said, the Sabian symbol reads, "A military band marches noisily on through the streets." And this, from straightwoo.com, indicates the aggressive glorification of cultural values. Full moon in that 4th house is illuminating things going on in the area of home and stability, roots, and foundation. Could also be like looking at the actual structural integrity of your home. With that full moon being in a water sign, it could be that there are some leaks or some water issues that are going on. If not, it could just also be like a lot of emotions. On the 22nd, we have the Sun moving into Gemini, and we have Mercury, the planet of thought, movement, and communication, also moving into Gemini. This for you is the 11th house. The 11th house is the house of your social networking, and this can be online social networking or media, or this can be social networking in a face-to-face endeavor. This is more dealing with your teams, groups, memberships, and associations that you belong to. It can be like dealing with conferences. That's very much social networking. If that's not the case, then it is more of an online situation. So I spoke briefly about the new moon. Let me give you a little bit more information for you. This new moon is at 14 degrees, 10 minutes of Taurus. Again, this is where the sun and the moon are hugging or kissing, meeting at the same spot in the sky. It's heavily influenced by Uranus, the planet of liberation, revolution, rebellion, shocks and surprises, and electricity and the internet as well. The spotlight is on the senses, especially focusing on the intuitive, the vocal, and the throat chakra. We have Venus in Aries squaring Saturn in Capricorn, urging us to be kind during this new moon period. And then we have Mercury in Aries trining Jupiter retrograde in Sagittarius, which indicates inspired ideas and communication coming forward. It may be that you need to speak your truth in love in a situation in that 10th house, and this new moon gives you the opportunity to start building that confidence towards speaking on what you need to speak on in that area where all the world is a stage. So, Leo, let's talk about what the cards say. We're going to start with the gemstone cards, move to the magical messages from the Fairies Oracle card, if I could speak, Doreen Virtue deck, and then we'll talk about the tarot cards. So the card that jumped out of the deck while I was shuffling is the Moss Agate card. Moss Agate. Deals with stability, persistence, and grounding. It helps heal and amplify the vibrations of the heart and the root chakra. Moss Agate is a stone of nature's peace and abundance. It reminds you that there is always a silver lining to each cloud. You have pulled this card as a reminder to be resilient in the pursuit of your higher purpose, and to embrace the grounding, calming, and stable energy of Mother Earth along the way. Meditate with Moss Agate to balance your mood swings, to instill patience, and to build a better determination to handle life's challenges. The card that I pulled from you from the Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle deck is Septarian. It deals with ancient earth wisdom and shielding. It helps heal and amplify the vibrations of the root chakra. Septarian facilitates communication with guides and elders while offering protection and a shield of invisibility around you. You've pulled this card because your guides and elders have a message for you, and because you may also be under energetic attack. Meditate with Septarian to attune yourself to ancient wisdom, to protect yourself with ancestral magic, and to connect deeply with your spirit guides. Root chakra is going to be in focus this month, according to the oracle cards that were pulled for you, and that you really need to ground yourself and be persistent in that grounding and the shielding that you do. The card that I pulled for you from the magical messages from the Fairies Oracle deck is to do some research. This card indicates that you need more information about this situation and look into it further before proceeding. I could definitely see you hearing about something in your 10th house situation with Mercury being so fast. Mercury starts out the month of May in your 9th house, moves through your 10th house, and we end the month of May with Mercury in your 11th house. So Mercury is flying through the sky right now. And along the way, it could be that you pick up on some idea, you hear about something, something comes your way, an idea, a message, a dream, intuitively or just inspired by events around you. But it's like you have to do more research on it. Just jumping on it isn't the right thing to do or the appropriate thing to do. Now, for the tarot cards, the first card we're going to talk about is the underlying theme or overarching energy. This is the Nine of Swords. There is some 9th house focus going on for you this month. We have Mercury and Venus starting out the month in your 9th house along with Chiron. 9th house is the house of Sagittarius traditionally. It's the house of your worldview expanded through study or travel. It's your long distance trips, adventures, questing, higher education, university studies. It is a study of religion, philosophy, metaphysics, astrology, tarot, runes, divination, stuff like this. It's also the house of like learning foreign languages, also possibly speaking to foreign people, foreign places, and foreign things. The number 9 is a number of fruition, and the swords deal with the air signs. That's Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, and it's dealing with the mental facilities or the mental faculties and the ability to reason, logic, that sort of thing. 9 of Swords is about depression, anxiety, despair. This is also a card of insomnia, unable to sleep for one reason or another. Seems like this is an ongoing situation, something that you have been having a difficult time with anyways. It's probably related to work situations in one way or another. I say that because Saturn is in your 6th house of work and health. So if it is not your work, then it is probably you're just not feeling good or you're not able to sleep for whatever reason. So the swords are pointing towards the future. So it's almost like this is something being drug up from the past, or if it's not drug up from the past, it's baggage from the past month or the past relationship, something to that effect. It's being brought in. It's not something brand new. This is either revisiting or reflecting on. Top 3 for clarity, we have the 6 of Swords. Again, 6th house, that's where Saturn is. Saturn is the teacher, the very strict teacher. Saturn I like to think of as the building code inspector and the houses on the astrological wheel. Saturn spends about 2.5 years in each one of those houses, and he tests. I say he because that's what the ancient literature gendered Saturn as. Saturn tests those houses by shaking them and trying to break them to see what has been built to code and what hasn't. The 6th house is, again, work and health. Saturn is the only place in that area of the 6th house. Number 6 is also a number that's tied to the theme of growth. And when there's growth, there's going to be growing pains. The swords, again, air signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, also speaking to reason, logic, mental facilities, faculties, and the like. The 6 of Swords is speaking to a transition or a rite of passage. I also see this as moving through choppy waters to get to calm waters. You have to go through this barrier, through this situation before you can get to the other side where things are calmer. This could be involving a situation with you and at least 2 other people. Doesn't necessarily have to, but you are at least taking into consideration the thoughts of others around you. It's not just you in this boat, it's you and some other people that you are trying to also, at least from my perspective, you are trying to help guide this ship to calmer waters for all involved, not just yourself. Now, the second card in the top 3 for clarity is a major arcana card. We have the Temperance card. This is the 14th card of the major arcana. 1 plus 4 is 5. Speaking to that 5th house. 5th house is where Jupiter is currently transiting in retrograde motion at this time. The Temperance card is speaking to and about Sagittarius or a Sagittarius. It could be the time of Sagittarius or somebody who is under the sun, moon, or rising sign of Sagittarius as well. This card speaks to the theme of discovering moderation and being able to stay grounded in your emotions, but also being able to adequately articulate what needs to be said, breaking down the emotions to where you can ground the situation and then communicate what has been deficient or what needs to be going on. This is also an alchemy point. Could see this as co-creation as well. Jupiter is at home in Sagittarius right now, retrograding through that 5th house. The 5th house is the house traditionally ruled by you, Leo, and it's the house of your social life and your creativity and your romantic life. And it's where you're going to blow off steam. It's where you're going to be a kid. I think of it as the house of sparks, the spark of creation, the spark of love, the spark of life. Don't be testing your guardian angel too much this month, Leo. Be your own guardian angel if you can. The final card in the top 3 for clarity makes me feel like the end of the month is going to be a good one for you. Could be definitely speaking to the full moon on the 18th, because this is the 4 of Wands. We have a 4th house significator with that full moon. They're in the house of home and family, roots, stability, and foundation. This card deals with the theme of stability. The number 4 is speaking to stability. Wands are fire sign energy. That's you, Leo. That can also be Aries or Sagittarius. We have Sagittarius in the mix with the Temperance card as well. This card is about homecoming, happiness, homecoming, harmony, marriage, alignment, celebration. Like, there are a lot of proms going on. This is like a prom card. This is something special that you plan for. This is not something that just happens. It could be that you're announcing some big news about your home or your family around the full moon on the 18th. How you're going to do it, how you're going to present it, maybe what it is that's presenting you with the insomnia that may be coming as well. But overall, I'm going to say if you can make it through these choppy waters, you've got harmony on the other side. It may be that you have to decide how you're going to be the mediator or temper between this choppy waters to the happy homecoming. It could be that you have to find balance. It may be that you have to be the one who actually facilitates that balance to make it happen. It could be that you have been doing it, it's making you tired, and you want to get to the other side so you can see the results. It can play out in many different ways like that. But Leo, that's what I've got for you for the month of May. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. And if you already have, I thank you from the bottom of my very grateful heart. I'm going to be around for the June videos. But first, I have to finish this series. And halfway through my uploading process, my computer decided to have, I don't know, a small hissy fit. And all of my May videos, pretty much 8 of the 12 videos that I shot, were kind of destroyed. So we're reshooting this. It's just a few days before we hit the May mark. And when we get to May 1st, when that happens, I'm going to be uploading some new videos about the daily transits for May. Probably going to be using tarot cards for that. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Take care. Please be kind to yourself. Save some of that kindness for others. Because we're all going through private battles in our world that some of us may never speak about to another living soul. I am sending you so much love. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with me. And I'll see you here again soon. Take care, Leo. I love y'all. Bye.